Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Dutchie, and in today's video I'm going to help you figure out if that shy girl really is into you or if she's just being nice. Now when it comes to shy girls and knowing whether or not they're keen on you, it can be a little bit more difficult because you know, they're shy as hell, but they're so dang cute and awkward, and that's what you love about them, right? So how do we figure out whether those subtle hints and signs that she's been dropping actually means something? Was she actually dropping a subtle sign, or were you overthinking it? I'm going to be taking you through some of my best hints and tips when figuring out if a girl is into you or not, and really trying to focus on the more subtle, shy aspects of it, because it can be a lot easier to figure out whether an extroverted person is into you or not. They're probably more likely to be more forward about their feelings and emotions and keenness. But yeah, let's figure out if this shy girl is keen on you. Now, I'm going to try my best to cover a whole range of terrain because the person you're crushing on may not always be at your school or at your workplace. I mean, sometimes you might be crushing on someone long distance that you don't often see in person. So I'm going to try and cover a lot of different areas for this one. But the first subtle and sort of more common thing that someone may do if they are keen on you, and this is sort of more in person, but I guess it could also happen over FaceTime or Skype or something, is known as spontaneous grooming. Now, I've mentioned this phenomenon in a few of my videos before, and it's basically just when an individual wants to look their best when they're around someone that they're sort of keen on, that they want to impress. Spontaneous grooming can include a variety of things such as tucking your hair behind your ear, fixing your collar, fixing what you're wearing, even like jewelry, fixing that, playing with rings, fixing your pants, any sort of thing like that, to make sure you keep looking your flyest, to make sure you're not, like, nothing's out of place. You want to look awesome and impress this person, right? It's a super common thing. Lots of people do it, especially when they're nervous or, again, yeah, around someone that they're keen on. So say you're at school and you're chatting and this girl is doing those sorts of things, trying to make herself look good, a little bit nervous, shuffling here and there. Even if you want to like FaceTime or something, they're like, oh my gosh, I look so bad, and like, as a way of saying that they want to look good for you, that sort of thing, that's a massive indication. Because I mean, if they're not wanting to impress you, they probably don't really care as much about their appearance. That's sort of like a big sign that they may be into you and may want to impress you to then maybe date you. Obviously, you can't really see spontaneous grooming over text or anything like that, so that's a little bit more difficult. But yeah, whether it be at school or out somewhere or at work, like wherever your crush is, if you do see them doing this and like little subtle things to like adjust themselves, that may in fact be an indication that they are crushing on you. This then leads into my next point, which is minimizing personal space. Again, this factor really does focus on being able to see your crush in person, and I will be focusing more on things that your crush could be doing not in person as well, for those who don't see your crush so often. So if you're talking to a girl that doesn't live in your town or you don't see in person, hang in there. I will be covering long distance sort of crushes as well, so don't worry. But I did want to make sure I covered this whole minimizing personal space thing because it's another huge indicator that a girl could be interested in you. And this is when you do see them in person, or say you're out somewhere together and you start talking, and then you start noticing that she starts sort of getting in closer to you, doing anything she possibly can to minimize that personal space without it being like super obvious or super awkward. But you may find her doing things like reaching over to touch your arm and stepping forward, or you're sitting down at a cafe or like in a booth or something like that, and she sort of tries to scoot closer in a way or makes you look somewhere else, and then suddenly she's closer to you, that sort of thing, in like the least creepy way possible. But if someone is keen on you, they're going to want to minimize that personal space so they can get closer to you. Oh, by the way, I make lots of advice videos similar to this one, so if you are enjoying this so far, then definitely subscribe for more. I've actually noticed that I've done this subconsciously in the past without knowing. There's definitely been times where I've been consciously aware that I'm doing it because hello, like, you want to get closer to this person. But there's also been times where it has happened between me and another individual and we've ended up close. We haven't actually known how we got there because we've been so into a conversation that we've been having. So a lot of the time it will happen naturally, especially if both parties are just as keen on each other. It may just happen and you may not even be aware of it. But yeah, if you do notice that this girl is moving closer and you do see her doing things to get closer to you, or like just doing anything possible to get as close to you as she can, that's a huge sign and a really good sign that she's keen on you. That whole minimizing personal space rolls in perfectly with my next tip, and that is body language. Body language is another clear indicator, and it makes it really sort of easy to sort of figure out what the person wants from you and whether they're interested or not. Obviously, dealing with shy girls here, it might be a little bit difficult. Some shy people find it difficult to actually look into someone else's eyes when they're talking, and that's completely fine. Like, that's not a bad thing, it's just how they are. But if they are a shy girl and you do notice that they're trying their best to actually maintain eye contact and look away at minimal times, that's a great sign. It shows they're super interested in what you're saying, they're engaging in conversation, they want the conversation to keep going, they want to learn more about you. Is she leaning forward? Is she leaning away? Same sort of thing with closing the proximity gap. I guess that comes into body language as well, but are they leaning in close to you and really listening? Are they leaning away and kind of like disinterested? Are they looking away? Are they giving you eye contact but then after the conversation sort of looking away, looking around like, I'm bored? This whole body language then links into my fourth tip, which is the touch barrier. All of these three things sort of combine. The touch barrier, as mentioned previously, is when they try and like caress your arm real quick, or your shoulder if you're standing up, or they just try to touch you, like they just try to get some sort of physical contact in there. Obviously, like not in any sexual way, but they just want to be close to you, and they just want, like most people crave physical affection and physical touch. Like, that's completely normal. They might tell a joke, or if you tell a joke, they might like laugh and like try and touch your hand or your arm or your leg for like a brief period. That like whole needing to touch you and wanting to make physical contact, if they are doing all of the things that I just mentioned and that, you're in with a really good chance, and I have a feeling that this shy girl is definitely keen on you. Now, for those of you who are sitting there that are like, gee, all these tips are awesome, but like I never see my crush and I want to figure out what she means by what she says over text, or what she's been saying on Snap, or the Snapchat she's been sending. Hold up, this section is for you. I'm guessing then if you don't see each other in person, you either talk on the phone through text, Facebook, Snap, Instagram, or of course Skype or something like that. So I really want to touch base with you guys as well. If you have a feeling a girl might be crushing on you, are they texting you first? Are they texting you a lot? Even if they don't text you first, maybe because they're shy, when you text them about something, how quickly do they respond? What are their replies like? Are they detailed? Are they asking more questions to keep that flow of conversation going? Do they just never want to stop talking to you? Those are some really good signs that someone is keen on you. Obviously, they don't want the conversation to end. They want to keep getting to know you. Like, they're not sending blunt 1-word or 2-word replies when you've sent like a 3-paragraph text message. Are they wanting to FaceTime and Skype and actually talk to you in person if they don't live in the same town? Are they wanting to see you all the time and like actually see you, not just do a Snapchat every now and then, that sort of thing? Are they really keen on getting to know you, and maybe they've asked if they could come and see you, or if you could come and see them? I don't know, depending on your age, whether you could travel to each other or meet somewhere, that sort of thing. Being really keen if you don't see each other in person, being keen to see each other in person is a really clear indication. And obviously a lot of this is common sense. I'm sure you guys are aware of all of this. It's also just women's intuition, like knowing whether or not someone is into you or not is pretty clear most of the time. I have full faith in you guys that you will know even a teeny bit if someone is into you or whether they're just being nice. Give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.